Have you ever, as a parent, just wanted to go back to the simpler days of no? When all you got from your children was no, 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 instead of these big explosive emotions and feelings where you're standing there going, I don't know what to think or feel myself. Yeah, I have those days myself quite often lately. And, feelings and emotions in our children, they are nothing really to be afraid of. They might make us feel all of the feelings ourselves, but you know what? This is good, and teaching feelings is good, and changing up what we do is good. And that's what I want to look at today. Hi, and welcome to Life, and thank you for joining me today. As you know what? We look at the fact that children arrive in this world with no manual. No, this is how to operate them. This is how they work. This is what you need to do. No, not really. They don't have that. And part of me really wishes that they did. You see, because I love manuals. I love writing them. I love writing training manuals. And I love reading them and seeing how things work and how they should work. And if you just do this, this will happen. And it's not like that with our kids, is it? And, we spend a lot of time as parents talking to other parents, trying to find out information, balancing all the judgment that seems to be out there, trying to work out what works best for us, and then we're looking for videos, we're looking for books, and we come across even things like this. Hi, thank you so much for watching. And thank you for your likes and your subscribes and for your comments and just being part of this Learning Life community. This is what I'm here for. Just sharing my heart and some of my ideas and some of my creativity, because I really want to see all of us as parents succeed. I want to see all of us just feel like we've got this. You know what? We really do. Because most days I do feel like, I've got it. And then I have those really rough ones, especially when we're dealing with feelings. Now, I did do a vlog on why we need to teach feelings. I think it's very important that from a very young age, we are teaching children about feelings and what we can be doing with them, like what we should be feeling about these feelings, it's coming up. What can we do? How do I respond? How do I react? It's actually very key because we're not born understanding our feelings. We have to learn along the way. And sometimes I feel in my mid-40s that, I've still got a long way to go. And so I'm trying to help my girls, and I've been trying to help them from a young age to understand that the feelings are there and there's nothing bad about them. It's what we do with them that sort of counts. Like, how are we going to deal with this? Like when we're feeling angry, or like when we're just feeling sad and we just don't know. Like this can be really, really hard. And then that's sort of when we tap in as parents to our parenting toolkit and we realize, things aren't working, or maybe I need to change something, or why isn't it working? And you know what? We have these skills that we've been developing along the way. And we have these skills that have been developing based on our children's personalities, or maybe how we were raised, or the culture that we're in, so many different things. And I find that my toolkit is constantly changing, and something that was working now doesn't seem to be, and so I need to change it up. But I don't like that. I want my hammer to stay a hammer and my screwdriver to stay a screwdriver and not have to have like a multi-wrench sort of attachment to make it a bit more like a Swiss Army knife. Like that's not what I want. I want my toolkit. And this can be hard. And one thing that I have really discovered with children, really over all the years of teaching and nannying and babysitting and all of this is one size doesn't fit all. No. Even within our own families, whether you have 2 children, you have 7 children, one size does not fit all. And what works for this one might not work for that one. And we definitely have that in our family. And we've got twins. You would think about the same age, or maybe it's more of a developmental age thing. It's personality. That's all I can say. It's 100% personality. We just happen to have 2 the same age that are sort of experiencing feelings in approximately the same way, but how they're dealing with it is very much to do with their personality and how they think. And, we've changed a few things along the way, and some things have worked really well, and then we've moved beyond it. Now, if you've been around me for any length of time, you know in our family we use the word turd a lot to really describe a behavior. The crappy behaviors, the ones that we don't like, those behaviors that are going to bring you consequences you just don't like. And it all came about because I was just writing the girls a song one day, but when all is said and done, turd is the best way to describe those behaviors. Because you see, that turd, that poo, just when it's sitting in the room, it stinks and nobody wants to be around it. And it just makes everything just feel ugh. So we don't want the turd in the room. We don't want these behaviors. What can we be doing about it? And we've gone from everything like naming feelings to throwing them away. And then that changed into fart it out, which actually still works. And, we've had magical flowers along the way. Our toolkit keeps changing. But one thing that hasn't changed is how we address the turds. And the fact that there are turds in the room and there is something that we need to do about it. Now, I'm also very strong in speaking like the positives over my girls. I will not say you are a turd. That's to me, I don't want to name them that because then that might actually stick to them. What we say in our house is you are acting like a turd. You see, an actor becomes somebody else. Like they're acting like somebody. I'm taking on this persona. Look, I'm putting on this outfit and this outfit makes me this character. And so we've been explaining that to the girls about how when you are acting like a turd, you're putting on a turd suit. And gross. That's ew. Like, do you really want to have that? And so I try to really be clear on that, like, oh, it's not that you are a liar, but you're believing a lie. Like, why do you feel like that you need to express it? You are acting like this. I'm always wanting to try to call out, that's not who you are. You are not a turd. You're just acting like one. You are not a liar. You're just sort of like spouting off some lies. And that's not you. That is so strong with me. Like, that's part of like words of encouragement and just speaking the truth over our children. Have a vlog on that too. It is so key to me that the things that we say to our children, they take a hold. And my girls have really taken a hold of this and the acting like. And so this is where we see like our whole sort of like turd stuff split. So 2 girls, same age, but how we deal with it is in 2 very different ways. So let's look at Kira. She has taken on board this idea of acting like and putting on like this suit. And so I can say to her, whoa, it really sounds like you've got your turd suit on and you don't know how to take it off. Is it stuck? Is the zipper stuck? Do I need to help get this turd suit off? And usually it's enough to make her stop and think, oh, I can get it off, or to express, I need help. I think my zipper's stuck. And this is the terminology that we use in it. Because I said, do you really want to keep this turd suit on? Because if you keep it on, it might actually become you. And that's not who you are. I mean, do you want to be walking down the street with us as a family and somebody goes, oh, hi, Karsten. Hi, Michaela. Hi, Soraya. And, ew, a big giant walking turd. And she'll be like, no, I'm Kira. I said, exactly. So let's get your turd suit off. And this language she understands. And so she sort of emotionally can take this turd suit off, maybe needs some help with it. And so she realizes she doesn't have to act like that. And it doesn't actually really define who she is. She is still Kira. She's amazing. She is powerful. She can make good choices. Look, you just made the choice to take off your turd suit. And then we have Soraya, who has taken the turd part and created her own little world around it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is turd world, according to Soraya. You see, one day I asked him, like, whoa, sounds like you're acting like a turd, and she's like, well, do you know what, Mum? It's not my fault. I thought, this is interesting. And so she told me the story about why it wasn't her fault. And it goes something like this. You see, there is Turd World, and there is a queen of Turd World. What she does is she kidnaps children, and she poisons their heart so that they act like turds. And then she releases them back into the world, into their families, and they've got these poisoned hearts, and they're just walking all around, and you just don't know it, and I probably bumped into one of them, and then that poison got onto me, and that is why I'm acting like a turd. I mean, bravo. Actually, really bravo. That's a fantastic story. And maybe one day I'll write it into a book. But she didn't want to take responsibility. It's the queen of Turd World. And so we now have Turd World and Turd Suit. But for Turd World, I'll be like, whoa, it sounds like somebody opened the door to Turd World. We need to close and seal that door, lock it tight. And we actually go through that action of sort of maybe blowing or like throwing the turds back into Turd World, and we're slamming the door shut and locking all the locks tight. And maybe some days we will get our spray bottle of our crappy attitude repellent and spray it like all around the door to seal it tight so that the turds can't get back into us, which is great. And yes, it's quite a rigmarole for it, but it enables her to just physically sort of do something to shake off like these attitudes, to just take that moment and for us to say, hey, thank you so much for getting rid of those turds. They are not you. You know what, Soraya? Thank you. What a great choice you made. You are powerful. Now lose the key. So Turd World is there. Turd World, Turd Suits. This is what we're doing. Truly, one size does not fit all in our family. And yes, I know it's maybe a little extreme for some people that we would go to this extent, but I want my girls to fully understand that their feelings don't define them, that, we might be acting like this, but there are things that we can do. And yes, I like to bring some humor into it because I find that sometimes that's just what we need. How can we sort of break out of that anger or that frustration or disappointment? Maybe we do need to laugh about it. Maybe we do need to take a crappy attitude repellent and go around our entire house, around the outside, and spray it so like you would like a bug spray so that these attitudes can't get in. That's part of our toolkit. Like that's our resource that we come back to and go, you know what, this is working. And hey, if you want to use it, please use it. Like we find that it works for us. But the key things are making sure that we're trying to really speak the positive over. That doesn't define you. You are not a turd. You're acting like one. That there are things that we can do to get rid of these attitudes. And that we can physically do it. It's up to them. I can't just take the turd suit off. I can't just close the door because I didn't put the suit on and I didn't open the door. So Mum's not going to fix it. You have to do something about it. And this is good. And this is working. And, some days I'm like, oh my giddy aunt, are we ever going to get there? But I really do believe that we are. I do believe because we are speaking these positives over, and to finish off with just another fun little story, to know that maybe you're doing something right when your child is angry at you and they're shouting at you, I am your miracle and you can't stop loving me. Because when they've been angry and I've held them and I've rubbed them saying, you are my miracle, I can never stop loving you. You know what? That's a big parenting win in their feelings and their emotions when they are angry at you and all they can do is remind you of how great they are. I love that. Don't ever lose that, my baby girls. Oh, I'm not allowed to call them baby girls anymore. I mean, we're almost 7. Your parenting toolkit is going to change. Your resources are going to change. You're going to try new things and it's all going to be great. And it's all going to be fun and it's going to be a little crazy sometimes. And some days you might feel like you fail, but you're not failing. You're doing this day by day and your children are amazing, as are you. And if you have any questions about this and you're like, well, what do I do and my tools have to keep changing? Please, I am here because that is my heart. Yes, I come up with some crazy, ridiculous stuff for my girls, and I realize that. But it also encourages me when other people hear some of the crazy, ridiculous stuff that I do and go, whoa, that's a really good idea. Can I try it? Like, yes, please. Maybe it'll work for you. Because remember, one size doesn't fit all. And if something isn't working for you, it's totally okay to change it up. It's totally okay to seek out new ideas, new information. This is all a really good thing. And we're all in this together. And we are raising amazing, powerful children. Well, thank you so much for watching today and, for just being part of this community. And one of the ways that you can is by being a champion, which helps us to get these videos out there. And you can do that through Patreon. So you can check that out at patreon.com or check out my website, learningthis.life.